Hooray. Here it is. There she goes. It's Blog Talk Radio. And it's the K Factor here on Blog Talk Radio, where K equals kindness. And the factors are all the things that lead to it. And we're being very kind today by bringing you reasons to be thankful and talking to you about gratitude. And when I say we, I mean my co-host and I, Alexandra Nikolai.
Good morning, everyone.
Yeah, good morning to you. You know, I can never say your name without the drama.
Because it's so. I keep wondering if one week you'll. But
yeah, I love it. Alex.
Yeah, I love it. I love it.
Well, you know, our names really do have prominence, and we've been hearing them our whole life, and we've been saying them our whole life, and we get nicknames. You know, very few people call me Deborah. But I love the name of Deborah, especially the official Deborah, you know. But when I was a little girl, of course, it meant I was in some kind of trouble. I was being beckoned. Deborah, yes. Lynn, what have you done? Nothing.
Of course, nothing.
Yeah, it's funny. So, and now it's all pretty casual, you know, Dr. Deb Carlin or just Dr. Deb or just Deb or Debbie. I don't care. I think I like all versions of my name. People call you Alex a lot, don't they?
Alex a lot, yeah. A few Alexandra.
Yeah.
Alexandra, as you would say.
Yes.
My mom calls me Alexanne, so she's met in the middle. I don't know how she started that, but it's always Alexanne. And so I like all versions as well. When people ask, what do I prefer? I said, it's whatever feels good to you. Just
have at it. Exactly. Yeah. I have people who do that to me. You know, they want to know, do you want to be formal? Do you want me to call you Dr. Carlin? And, you know, I'm in the dating world, you know, and so what I say to gentlemen is if you want me to invoice you, go ahead. Call me Dr. Carlin. Otherwise, you know.
Oh my gosh, I love that.
We're on off time, you know, so let me know because I can do a Venmo immediately.
No problem.
No problem. Oh, excuse me.
You look beautiful today, by the way. Your hair looks really nice.
Oh, bless your heart. You are such a sweetheart. Well, I'll tell you what, I appreciate that. I got up at 4 o'clock, actually like about 3:42 or something. And I thought, oh my God, I have so much to do. Then I started feeling the angst of the day. I started worrying about people. And you know what? As I did that, Alexandra, I went into prayer.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the only reason that my hair and my whole being, as you say, looks beautiful. Thank you. I think that we show on the outside what we're doing on the inside. And if we had gotten on here 5 minutes after I woke up, you would have said, oh my God, Deb, what is wrong? Yeah. Your hair is insane. You know? Your face is all contorted. It took me literally hours to unwrap my angst about our country.
Yeah.
And about our world. And I've been texting this morning with friends in downtown Chicago, in Lincoln Park, in Old Town, on the South Loop side, in the North River side. And it's nowhere on the news, not nationally and not locally, but we've got people being shot dead this morning. And my friends are right there hearing it out their windows, keeping their lights off in their residence so no looters know that they're in there, so that they can get on their megaphone and say, get out here, we want your house. We want in there, you come out here. And so what I needed to do and what I wanted to do and why I'm so grateful to be doing a show every single day and doing our show on Thursdays is because it is so incredibly, beautifully essential for us to come together and to talk about gratitude. Because, you know, as I wrote for our write-up today is It's Thursday. And so we call it Thankful Thursdays. And no matter what else is going on, we do indeed have reasons to give gratitude and to be thankful. And so if we're stuck, all we have to do is press a little bit to discover, what do we have gratitude for? Well, I'll tell you what I had gratitude for first thing this morning was the medallions around my neck that remind me of my religious faith and my religious convictions, my belief in our Creator. And I start up by putting my hands together and saying, oh, dear Lord, thank you for this life. I love it that I wake up and that I can see, and that I will see the break of day here within a matter of a couple of hours, and I will replenish, and I go over to the windows and I stand there and I breathe in the fresh air and think to myself, okay, it'll get better.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for what I have and the things that I'm anxious and uncomfortable about. I think to myself, wait a second, when you have faith, there is no place for fear to live.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Faith over fear all day long. And it's so interesting because we didn't really check it. We had a minute or two before we hopped on, and I had wanted to send you a message this morning to talk about what we can do in the morning, or, what listeners are doing in the morning, or what we personally do in the morning to get ourselves up in a state of gratitude to set up the day for success. And it's just so, we're so aligned in our energy that, of course, you launch into the show and immediately you're into, this is what I did in the morning to get myself set up for a successful day. And it was the question I was going to ask you. I said, I feel on my heart, I need to share.
Yeah.
I've been talking in a couple of other groups, a couple other trainings I've been doing this week. And that's been the theme the whole week is, what is your morning routine? How do you set yourself up for success? How do you handle the anxiety or the overwhelm if that's the first thought in your head when you wake up in the morning? And I've been asked questions on what do I do? What's part of my routine? So it's just wonderful that that's where you're at this morning as well, because I would love to share and talk a little bit more about how you and I both get into a state of gratitude to have, to have a good day, especially in these challenging times. I mean, life is hard enough, and we were all already busy with our businesses and everything, and stresses and family and all the things going on before all of this. And now we're stacking it even higher with what's happening to some neighborhoods and cities.
Indeed we are. So what are your practices in the morning? What is it that you're getting up and doing?
Yeah. So when I wake up, I actually lay in my bed for a few minutes, and I think immediately, first of all, I just start with thank you.
Yeah.
And then I start and I say, today's going to be today's going to be a great day. And because my mind wants to go into what I have to do. And so I say, okay, mind, great. So let's just think about what you want to do. What's your schedule for today? And it's going to be a great day. So there's no reason to get anxious about it. You're going to do, this is your, you have this call at your show at 9, and then you're, whatever, go through my day. You guys don't need to know the ins and outs of my payroll, all those things. That's not helpful. But so once I'm out of bed, so I really try to start just bringing the energy to a calm place. If you can finish everything you need to today. Today's going to be a great day. I'm very thankful. And I get out of bed and I spend a little bit of time like you in devotion. Typically, I have an app. So a little bit of meditation, devotion time, personal time. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I drink maybe this much and then I'm done.
An inch of coffee.
My friend calls it a thimble. He's like, are you done with your thimble of coffee? Can I have the rest of it? I kid you not. So that's where we go there. And then, I like to get myself into motion in the morning. I have found that after my devotion time, a little bit of coffee, make sure there's no crazy fire I need to put out with, on my email, but that's a slippery slope.
Yes.
So if you're going to get on your computer and get into email and not leave it, don't go there. Stick with your morning.
Get lost in there.
You would. Yeah. And so the weather has finally broke down here in Florida. The humidity is down, and it's fabulous. And so I like to go out for a morning walk, and I spend it either in silence or with some kind of professional development, a podcast or an Audible book.
Okay.
And I will walk. And I feel like that, if you can't do that, even 5 minutes of stretching. Some people get overwhelmed with a morning routine needs to be an hour long, and you don't feel like you have time with the kids and all the things going on. Mm-hmm. A morning routine can be 5 to 10 minutes to put you in a place of gratitude and more of a peaceful spirit to start your day. So it doesn't have to be a whole thing of 30 minutes of meditation and then I'm going to do this and I'm going to drink. Start small if you don't have a routine, but I like to do my walk. And then lemon water is a big part of my day.
Yeah.
There's a little bit of apple cider vinegar in there, and like some kind of like a natural energy drink, because I'm not a big coffee drinker. So that's typically what I use for in the morning when I come back from my walk. And then I feel energized from moving my body. So even like I said, it's a 5-minute stretch you do at home.
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. Get the body just going, the blood flowing, drink some water. I try to tell people, if you think about a plant that's without water, it's starting to wilt, and kind of think about what happens when you water it, almost instantaneously, it just, and
exactly.
That's what you have to think of, the water going through your body and
yes,
doing that exact same thing. So that's a little bit about my routine. I'm adding back in journaling. I have stopped journaling, and I'd like to add that back in. I think it's very important, especially right now. You can really just write out any anxieties and fears and get it out of your head, out of your body, and onto paper. Yeah. So you can clear space for more positive energy to come in for the day.
So that's so funny. How long do you take a walk for?
It depends on what I've got going on. Anywhere from 30 minutes to an hour.
Yeah. 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 It depends.
I try to be out the door by about 7. So I'm back and working, by 8 o'clock.
Yeah. So I find myself, I actually took a walk last night. I went and had a beautiful experience of walking outside and seeing the gardens and just walking a little bit around my neighborhood and hearing the quiet, because where I live, they roll up the streets, as you say, by 9 o'clock. And I like that. I'm still a person who, as a kid, grew up with, it was like, I don't know, midnight or 1 o'clock in the morning, the television played the national anthem and went off. The TV was off in the middle of the night, as opposed to sports, movies, Ginza knives, news, all this. It's overstimulation. So I like that this little village that I live in, here in Malfi.
Right.
It's so quiet on the sea, and it's just peace, and that I can take my room with me anywhere I go, and it just always looks the same. Travel the world and same room. So if I'm going to journal, my journaling is, this anxiety is not allowed to live within me. This anxiety is my thoughts racing and creating a negative ending that I haven't arrived at yet. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, I am productive. I am smart. I am ambitious. I am creative. I am a person of faith. I am a woman of faith. I'm a woman of godliness. And I am confident about the ways in which people need what I do. And they are eager to pay me for my talents. And I am eager to be needed.
Yes.
And it's amazing what happens when you do that, because then people recognize, I really do need her. I need that ongoing service. I need that energy and that talent. And it's so interesting to me, because no matter how I'm feeling, Alexandra, when I encounter another human being, I just come out of myself. Yeah. And love the social connection, which is, quite frankly, why it is I wanted to come back to Blog Talk Radio, but do it very differently this time by attaching the Zoom calls to it, so that our audience has the double experience of only audio or the video alongside. And I think that for us as people hosting the show, seeing one another, I mean, how lovely is it that every Thursday you and I are sitting together?
It's wonderful.
It is.
It's the new world we're living in, which I really don't particularly like that phrase, because it just, you know, puts in the reminder of what's happening.
Right.
But then on the flip side, because of the world that we're living in, you and I are sitting here on this call and probably wouldn't have been otherwise. So
right.
it's what we've talked about, I think, on previous calls. It's the reframe.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you can go down the rabbit hole or the negativity train and never get off of the train, or you can get off the train and reframe and head back in the other direction. And it's, yeah, we're going through some really tough times right now, but on the other hand, I get to spend an hour with you every single week and reframe what might be going on in our lives and other people's lives, and they might need a little bit of help thinking, okay, well, I can actually flip this thought around and put myself back into a positive state and have some gratitude and a good day because of it. So, I mean, it's wonderful to touch it. Hopefully we're touching some lives and helping people.
Absolutely. Well, looking at our numbers, we're certainly touching lives and helping people. You know, when I send out the communications about how each episode is doing and how this platform is doing overall, I'm really happy to say that every single person who's doing these shows with me is telling me that they're getting calls or messaging of some sort, so that they're feeling the impact of this vibrance. You know, and it comes from not just doing the show, but then the ways in which we post. So through Blog Talk Radio, our distribution is huge. And then through our YouTube channel and everywhere that it goes from there, and then the way that each host with me is posting on their social media, it's really lovely the way that it's growing. And I see that you post our stuff on your page there.
You absolutely. People, they like to see.
What are you doing?
Of course, my family likes to see what I'm up to, but so do my friends and clients. And
right.
You know, I really love our show, and I really love, you know, the topic, and it's something that resonates very, very deeply with me.
Yeah.
As being a mindfulness coach.
Yeah.
The mind is very powerful, and so to help educate people or just share with people some techniques to help through these times, or just times in general, you know, with the mind and your mindfulness, it's really a blessing. So I'm very honored that you asked me to host this particular day on your schedule. It's really great.
Yeah, it's perfect. You're welcome. Thank you for accepting. One of the things that comes into my mind as you're talking about being a mindfulness coach, you're very athletic and you love golf. I mean, you're probably my only female friend and associate who loves golf as much as I do.
Yeah.
And you're playing every day, and I haven't played once all season.
Oh, no.
I've been carrying my golf clubs around in the trunk of my car. I haven't even gone to a driving range. I went to a driving range twice. The line was so long. Everybody was masked outside. And I just said, you know what? All I'm doing is getting furious while I'm standing here.
Yeah.
First of all, I don't do lines. Secondly, I'm not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Well, the golf industry is exploding because everyone wants to play golf now, because it was one of the only things that stayed open. So, you know, should we ever venture down that path again, which I'm believing in that we're not going to, but you have to be able to play golf, because that was the only thing. And so my friend one of my best friends is a golf pro up in Boston, and he's really helped me with my game. And he cannot come up for air. He is booked, and he's so good too. He's traveled all over the world. He's taught in Singapore and Dubai and you name it. Yeah, he's wonderful. But anyway, so he can't come up for air. He's 7 days a week right now with lessons people coming off in droves off the street. And I've got other golf friends, they can't keep clubs in stock. It's crazy. It's madness. But yeah, I haven't played a lot the last couple of weeks because I do not like the humidity and the heat where I am. But like I just said, the last couple of days have been fabulous. So I feel like fall is here and I'll get back out and work on my game. But I love to play. I love to watch. Everyone in my family plays. It's a wonderful sport to share with family and friends, I think, and colleagues too. I mean, yeah, like you said, out in nature, like even, just feeling the fresh air. And speaking of which, I got my first hole-in-one.
I saw that. That was so cool.
It was amazing. My first one. So yeah, so that's another thing to be thankful for. I was, I have the time to get out and to play, and I was with family, and we just had a blast.
And it was joyful.
It was joyful. It was a wonderful day, and all in good spirits. And golf for me is like sometimes a time to just tune out the outside world.
Absolutely.
Right now.
I love golf and I love being in the cart. Once upon a time I had a rolling cart, and so I would walk the course, and I loved that because really when you're on a golf course, it's beautiful, it's quiet, it's litter free, it's noise free, it's polite, there's an etiquette to it. Which I actually think that if we had everybody in our country playing golf, seriously, there's no room for people to feel angry. There's no room for it. I mean, now I have played with people who are pretty angry when they're playing golf.
I have played with a few of those, and that blows my mind because I think to myself, if you're going to get that upset about a little white golf ball not going where you wanted it to go, you shouldn't be out here. Your blood pressure should not increase because of a golf shot. And, somebody said something to me a while back as I was playing, and we were hearing somebody on the other hole getting upset about their tee shot or whatever it was. And, this person said, you know what? That's really sad, because he's like, I'm really happy and grateful that we get to be out here. It was like probably literally on a Thursday morning. Not everybody can be out on a Thursday morning. And he said, and we're hitting a little white ball off the grass.
Yeah.
On a Thursday morning, and somebody is mad about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, how can you not be grateful for the fact that you are so blessed that on a random weekday morning, you're out swinging a metal thing, hitting a little white ball off a piece of grass that somebody mowed for you.
Oh no.
For you, and you're going to be upset about it, and it was such a great point that he made. I was like, you're right. I am so blessed to be able to be healthy enough to do this and have a business that allows me to do this, and grateful for all of the people that made the course beautiful for me to come and hit my little white ball off of,
Well, and here's the other thing. People will listen and watch, and some people will say, oh, but you're just so lucky. No, it's due diligence. I mean, you and I have not had anything handed to us. We've worked hard for everything that we've achieved and everything that we're in the middle of, and we're still working towards more. We've got tremendous dreams and ambitions. And I'll tell you, it's funny and it's pathetic. I have been on the golf course with people in some of the most beautiful places in the world. And I would hit the ball and I would just, I'd be like, well, that one went in the ocean. Well, that one went in the lake. Well, that one's lost in the woods. And if it's too much for me, I just say, let's play so that we just drop the ball. We're not going to cheat on the score. I don't care. I'm not out here to be a pro. I'm out here because I love the swing. And for me, when I hear that pop of when the club makes contact with the ball, I'm thinking, Yahoo, that is amazing. And if I'm not creating a divot, I'm thinking, I'm a winner. This is amazing, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And when I've been with people who get really bent out of shape, what I'll say to them is, in this moment, just for a moment, look where we're at. I mean, look at how gorgeous this is.
Yeah.
And look at the beauty of it. Now, let's extrapolate off the golf course. For everybody listening, and for you and I sitting in our rooms on camera, look at where we're at. This is beautiful.
Yeah.
We're safe in our homes. We've got beautiful homes, and they are amazing, amazing, and wonderful. Look at who we are. We're two beautiful young women who have worked for our health and our well-being. I mean, there are times when I just think to myself, give me a bottle of wine and a loaf of bread and a pound of butter. I'm done.
Oh, fabulous.
I am sick and tired of worrying about my weight, my figure, my capacity. I'm turning it all in. I'm done with this. And then, you know, it's like, all right, now wait a second. Get a hold of yourself and go for a walk. Or turn on. There's a great program on YouTube that you can do some of it for free and some of it to join, and it's called Svelte, 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 and it really is. It's about getting your body svelte. And this woman is exercising on the beach, and she goes, "Just give me 7 minutes a day, and I will help you transform your body." And I thought, really, 7 minutes a day? Okay. So, well, it starts with a 4-minute warm up, a 7-minute workout, and then like a 3 or 4 minute cool down. So it's still, what is it? Like 20 minutes? I mean,
14 minutes.
Yeah. I mean, and so it's amazing, you know? And I'm thinking to myself, bread and butter for a body that you don't have to be embarrassed about, you know?
Yeah.
Go back and forth. So we have to remind ourselves. I mean, seriously, Tuesdays with Tessa is another show on our platform, and she is one of my sage wisdom friends who I've known for decades. And I said to her, Tessa, do Tuesdays with Tessa with me. Why? I said, because I want everybody to experience your goodness and your practices, your daily practices. Alexandra, to talk with her every week and to hear what she has to say and to dive into her practices. This woman is consistent. She came from a dirt floor shack, like in southern Alabama as a child.
Wow.
And she's got a book called From Outhouse to Penthouse. And she is just, every single time you say, Tessa, how are you? I'm wonderful. How are you? You know, and it's never a lament, ever. And I mean, I've watched her. She had a very sick husband for years who passed away. She took incredible, impeccable care of him. She bought a business and then realized it was actually way in the hole and failing. And she, 30 years ago, turned it around. I mean, she's been up against odds. And how are you doing? I'm fabulous.
Wow.
You know, how can you say that? Because I got up this morning and I said I am. And here's another practice of gratitude, to get up in the morning and to say, how may I be of service today? How may I be of service today? What can I do that will be of benefit for all and harm to none?
Yes.
And in divine order. And in divine order in a way that, you know, it's so funny, isn't it? The way that sometimes people will chide you for your faith and say things, you know, like, you know, you're a holy roller. I mean, I haven't actually had anybody say that to me for decades, but I remember once upon a time when I would hear things like that. And it's like, what do you mean a holy roller? My hair is straight. I haven't put any rollers in, you know?
Right.
And by the way, with my hair, when I do curl my hair sometimes, and you know what it does? This.
Right
it goes
back.
completely flat, like, you know, in 20 minutes. The guy who cuts my hair, you know, I don't have to get it cut or do anything to it very often because it just likes to be there. he will get all excited and say, oh, you got to just let me do this thing to your hair. And it'll look great. And I'll say, this is awesome, but you just spent like 30 minutes and I'm going to send you a selfie in like 7 minutes after I leave here. No, it's loaded with product and this is going to last. And you're going to send me a selfie in like 9 hours. It'll still look like this. 11 minutes. I sent a picture. Thank you for the momentary gratification. I was grateful for those 11 minutes. But here we go. We're back to center. So,
but that, I love your comment about waking up and having the thought of serving. That actually came up on another call I was on, I think Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday. And somebody was sharing about their morning routine, and that involved that as well. And I thought, you know what, that's really great. It's not that I don't think about that, but I need to make sure I'm consciously thinking that, in addition to being grateful for waking up, I'm going to have a great day, sitting in a moment and just saying, how can I be of service today? Who do I feel could use my help today? Or who should I, maybe it's somebody you should reach out to, or just start your day thinking of how you're going to go and everyone you're going to encounter, that what can I give to them instead of what can they do for me?
Yeah.
And see how that shifts and changes how your day flows. Exactly. Friends in the audience, you would be amazed how those couple of little thoughts will shift the entire trajectory of your day and the energy of your day.
100%. So I am thinking to myself yesterday, exactly that. And what ended up happening was I got a series of calls of people saying, here's how I know about you. Here's what we need. Can you please help? I will do my very best.
Amazing.
My very best. And I know that I will be rewarded for that. And
that's the universe answering your energy, or God, or whatever you believe. What you send out is what you're going to get back. That is just fact. It's just energy. And if you're projecting negativity and me, and I'm this, and this happens to me, and I have this, and this isn't working, and all that, that is just going to bounce, and it's just going to be a snowball. But shifting what you thought about, and then the universe responded with all these people that could really use your help. That's incredible.
I'm going to see if I can't pull this up for us. The frequency of our moods, the measurable frequency of our moods. Do you know about this stuff?
Yeah. I've heard a little bit.
So,
but yeah, because we've talked about like raising your vibration and stuff too. So that,
yes, exactly. And so there is, there are actually ways in which we can authentically and beautifully raise our frequency and get into a place where we have got, because of the foods that we eat and the things that we do. I'm going to do a screen share for a minute for our audience and see if I can make this happen for us. Okay, screen share, and you'll tell me when. I'm tapping into our energy here with all the stuff that I've got going on the computer. Can you see that screen?
It's just blank. It says you're sharing, but there's nothing there.
Okay. Tell me if it pops up. Nothing?
Oh, there we are.
Good. Okay. So vitality, tone, and attitude scale. And it's kind of small, and I can't make it bigger. But emotional vitality, tone, and attitude scale, what you see is when you refresh and recharge, your frequency, your vibration actually increases.
Yeah.
And the beautiful part is I'm gonna share this. Well, now it's on our video. Now it's on our Blog Talk Radio, the K Factor, Thankful Thursdays for our video viewers. For our audio viewers, I'm going to tell you to Google measuring the frequency of our emotions. And you're going to come across Abraham Hicks and a whole number of pages of this kind of information on Pinterest through Google. I'm going to stop the share now because it wasn't exactly as huge as I thought that I could read.
Yeah, it was still really, it's really great. And it's really important for our listeners and viewers to understand how much your energy and your vibration affects not just yourself and your day, but the people around you. And on the flip side, surrounding yourself with people on a lower vibration or in a negative and a lower on the negativity or positivity scale can dramatically affect how you feel. And so be mindful of the people that you're surrounding yourself with in your life. And you know, as you start to become more aware of those feelings and how you're feeling, and then entering a room with somebody that's operating on a lower vibration, you're going to start to sense that quicker, and sense a shift in your energy quicker. And you'll, instead of wondering what just happened, you'll be more aware of exactly what just happened, and that you need to surround yourself with more positive minded people that are on that higher vibration. And it really, the energy feed off the people. It's really incredible.
There is a reality of muscle testing, and people laugh about this. I used to be one of them. You know, what is this muscle testing stuff? You know, you're asking people a question and you know, saying push against me when I ask you this question, and people are surprised. They think it's maybe a trick. But it's not a trick, and you can actually do it yourself. If you sit or stand and you ask yourself, should I do this? Is this thing, and then you think about what this thing is, or you say it out loud. You know, is Frank really a positive influence in my life? You know, and you try to move. You know, if you can't move, that's a real indication.
Yes.
And people say, well, what direction would I move if the person was? Listen to your inner voice. The training right now for every single one of us, and the reiteration and practice of the training for every single one of us, for the knowing, the absolute knowing our inner voice, is more critical, more essential now than ever before. You know, I am so dialed in now, Alexandra, to just the vibe that I get. It's disturbing. I need to do things to invite in more of what's really healthy and positive. But if I get a sense of something in terms of danger, in terms of uncomfortable, any kind of caution, I'm paying attention. And if there's something that feels really lovely and wonderful, I'm walking right into it. And it takes a lot of courage to do it.
Yes.
Because we have all these competing things. So I'm being judgmental. I should give this a chance. So I don't need to worry about this. Go, you know that saying, go with the flow, but only go with the real flow, because when you feel that resistance, stop.
Yes.
It's your inner self warning you. And, you know, people talk about your inner being and then they get lost in the child within, and then they think what? And so take all of that off the charts. If it feels right, really and truly authentically, in your most authentic inner voice, you're right there. And if it doesn't, yeah, you better get out of the way because you're in harm's way in some manner.
Right.
I had somebody recently invite me to go do something with them that sounded really innocent and really appealing on the front end. And I started thinking about it. And so I could not quite trust my gut. I thought, really? I feel like I might be overreacting. I mean, what's the matter with me? And I ran it by one friend who said there's something very odd about that invitation. I don't think that you should take that invitation.
Wow.
And I said, yeah, I'm not going to. And
Hmm.
so that person with that invite extended it again, and then I just dropped it and they evaporated. So I'll never know what that was going to be, but I didn't have a good feeling about it. So I think I probably kept myself out of harm's way.
Yeah. And that, you know, that ties back a little bit to some of the conversations we have had about how, you know, fast the world moves and
Yeah.
fast paced everything is and overstimulation, all the things. And just that's a really gentle yet profound reminder to just slow down. And it's okay to slow down, to evaluate, to listen to yourself
Yeah.
instead of go, go, go and all over the place. And I'm going to do this and that and that my to-do list. And I'm a million miles an hour. Take a deep breath and recenter. And
Absolutely. You know, I was in a situation, I was in a little convertible, a little two-seater. I'm driving the car and I'm in the car with a friend and we're downtown Chicago. And on Michigan Avenue, there are bridges that go over the Chicago River.
okay.
And it's a real dividing point between the south part of the city and the north part of the city on Michigan Avenue. And it's, you know, it's not by design, it's by nature. And and during the riots, they've put those bridges up strategically to prevent people from crossing over. It's like you might as well be surrounded by a moat
Yeah.
because you go east and then there's the lake. Now people can go all that way around, but if they're on foot, they're not going to do that. And I was downtown and we were driving around and enjoying everything. Sad to see the destruction that had been taking place, but it seemed quiet. And all of a sudden, we're driving and I said, you know what? I have a really bad feeling. It's just a vibe that I'm getting. And the person with me kind of, you know, that's not their language. And I looked ahead and I could see that the bridge was up right where we were heading. We were about maybe 4 or 5 blocks from it. And I said, the bridge is up. And they said, it's probably for a boat. And I said, I don't think so. And right then I said, let's get really quiet and listen. I turned off the radio. And you could hear this rumble. And it was hard to discern what it was. And then it sounded like it was chanting, but not anything that was peaceful.
Mm.
And so we decided that I would make a right hand turn and swiftly head towards Lakeshore Drive, which was about maybe 4 long blocks. And on those first 2 blocks, as we're heading east, I see parked along the side of the road all these black SUVs. And I thought, well, that's interesting. You know, like, I wonder if there's a car show. They're all shiny and new, you know, and then I see a couple of Chicago Police Department cars tucked in between there. And then I look again and I thought, these are all police in these vehicles.
Yeah.
And then we both kind of looked at each other and we get up to an intersection and there's some media there and there's probably, I don't know, 300 to 500 people gathered. Defund the police, abolish the police. And I'm thinking, we're at a red light. We're at the intersection of the red light. And these people are gathered in the street to our right at the intersection we're at.
Wow.
And in the quadrant, in the southeast quadrant of where we're at. And I thought, Baby, hang on to that steering wheel, because when the light changes, I am whipping through here at lightning speed to get us out of here, because we're going to make a left at the next intersection, which is Lakeshore Drive, and get on that outer drive and head north. And I have to tell you, Alexandra, the confidence I had in knowing what to do. And there really wasn't another option to turn down another road, given the way that the city is constructed. And growing up in Chicago, I know it like I know my face. So we had to go the way that we went. But if we had been a moment in hesitation or 5 minutes in hesitation, we might have gotten into a huge middle of people walking, and, you know, you're sitting low to the ground in a two-seater with the top down. Your ultimate vulnerability. It was sickening and weird. And as we drove away, we were surrounded by people who all had the same fear factor as we're, you know, charging up Lakeshore Drive to just get to the open lake where you could breathe. And at least everything on your east side was looking at the water, and not having the opportunity for anybody to come upon you. Now, dialing in and paying attention, as opposed to saying, you know, we'll just keep going. What's the difference?
Right.
Might cost you your life.
Yeah.
Quite literally. And I keep thinking of ways to, in my fear, put a good energy in the direction of the people who are so angry.
Yes.
However, I will tell you what seemed to have happened here. I think it was in Chicago. A U-Haul truck pulls up. There's a group waiting for the U-Haul truck right at where the protest is going to be. They open up the back of this U-Haul truck, and there's signs and baseball bats and all kinds of weaponry, and, you know, coming out of the back of the truck. And the news media is sitting there saying, well, what should anybody do? What should anybody do? The police need to be notified because somebody saw it, and we need to chase that truck. You know, who was filming this? Who was filming this? And why didn't they film the license plate of that U-Haul truck so that the authorities could be contacted to find out who rented that truck? Who's funding this? Chase it down and find out what's going on here. That would be the news story of the day. But I didn't, you know, there's no follow-up. There's zero follow-up on that.
It's really disheartening. It's really,
you know, and you try to put a good energy into that to get those people into a different zone. But you know, there is such a thing as a blocking of energy.
Yeah.
That's like trying to say good morning to somebody if they've got a loaded gun pulled to your head.
Yeah.
They're in the midst of doing a home invasion on you, and you're saying, would you like some coffee? Or no, wait, maybe some chamomile tea.
Yeah.
No caffeine for you.
How about lemon water?
Yeah.
Apple cider vinegar, you know, a little shot of something. Yeah, no, I agree. It's a really troubling time, which is why it takes me back to the beginning of our call, where we have to make a choice when we wake up in the morning, at least about our day and about what energy we're going to give off to the people we do come in contact with. And I think that's a really good step that everybody can take. It doesn't cost you anything. It takes 3 to 5 minutes, if that. And, you know, maybe collectively all of our energies can start to work together, and maybe then we can make a stand against that person and that group pulling up with a U-Haul.
Yeah. Well, there's a company that I've gotten involved with. You know about HeartMath. We've talked about HeartMath.
Mm-hmm.
And there is also Healy. And Healy is a wonderful device. It's a frequency monitor and vibration frequency shifter that was created in Germany and Austria that is pretty phenomenal. And I'll be talking more about that with you because I
Yeah.
think it's a huge component of what we can do to make it all happen.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Staging all that energy. Well, I'll tell you what, here's what I'm going to propose. I'm going to propose that you and I remain here. We'll do a little recap, and we say to our audience, blessings be upon you. Be grateful for the day. We're grateful that you're here with us. And from Dr. Deb Carlin here and my co-host and very dear sweet friend and business associate, Alexandra Nikolai.
Thank you. Thank you to the audience. Have a wonderful day. Shine light on everyone around you. Share love.
There you go.